Hello, thank you for joining us today for the Tenant Portal Overview recording. In our short recording, we'll talk about how you're typically notified of the Tenant Portal, how to first access the Tenant Portal, and what you can do within the Tenant Portal. We begin the overview today by logging into our personal email account. This is where we'll typically be notified by our management company. I'm going to go ahead and sign into my Google account. When I log in, I see an email from the management company. Please note that the subject line and text in from may be different. I click to open the email. I get a brief description here of what the tenant portal will enable us to do. By default, everybody has the ability to submit online maintenance requests, and if the account is set up, it will also allow you to be able to pay your rent online. Now, to be able to access it, I simply click the link in the email, and the first thing I have to do is set up a password. So I create my password, and then when ready, I click Activate to create my account. When I log in, I see two sections. My first section up here has to do with my financial status, current outstanding rents due basically. And then below that, I see my maintenance request section. Again, please note that if the ACH function is not turned on for the account, the make a payment will not display. Simply see the new maintenance request section. Now briefly to talk about what each one will allow you to do, if you have Tenant ACH turned on for your account, you will have two buttons here, Make a Payment or Set Up Autopay. Let's talk about each briefly, first starting with Make a Payment. So if I wish to make payments one at a time, I simply click Make a Payment button, and there's a multi-step process here that we'll go through. By default, it is asking to pay all amounts. I can make adjustments if I need to, and then click Enter Bank Account Information. Go through the process here of entering our bank account. It's really easy to do. Designate if this is a checking or a savings account. You may choose to save that information so you don't have to enter it in the future. Then look at your check and get your routing number and account number. Put in routing and account numbers and then click Verify Payment Details. Now, as this is a training, I'm not going to put any information at this point. Your next step will be to verify. It'll just ask you to confirm everything on the screen. You'll say yes. It'll move you into your final confirmation, at which point you'll be able to submit the payment. Now, the other option here is to set up autopay, which case would be a recurring payment model. So I click Set Up Autopay, give the payment a name, typically related to your payment of the monthly rent, and what amount that you wish to pay, typically the rent due every single month, and when to make the first payment. If you want to adjust that, really easy to do, just click the calendar, you can go back and forth month at a time, make whatever date changes you need. Below, just like we saw on the single payment, is you're putting in of the routing information and the account number. You have a couple details down here at the bottom, and if everything looks good to you, you would click Create Auto Pay. That would set it up, and then the system would automatically recur that payment based upon the date that you have set in the system. Okay, so that's an overview of the payment functionality. Let's talk next about the maintenance functionality. I can either click the maintenance link up here or the new maintenance request button. Either one gets me to the same location, and it's where I can create the option of submitting a maintenance request. I put in the item that I'm requesting to fix. I have to designate if I'm giving permission to enter the unit with the management company's key, and if everything looks good, I click Submit Request. The maintenance request is sent into the management company, and I can see my open maintenance requests here. Go back into the home. Again, see an outstanding list of your payments, and here we can see our newly created maintenance requests. And as items are updated on the maintenance request, you'll see notification and changes in here as well. I'm going to go into the final section here, just a little bit of settings where you can change your email address. Select whether you want to get monthly email reminders and change your password if you wish to. Go ahead and click log out then. Do want to make one last note here. You may want to bookmark the address that you are sent by your management company. Please note that this is a training site and would not be the one you'd want to bookmark, but when they send you the link out of your email and you click on it, you would then want to go into bookmarks, bookmark that page, and then in the future when you want to see it, really easy to access. This concludes our overview of the tenant portal. Thank you for joining us today.